On October 15th, Prince William and Kate Middleton did something the palace had not witnessed in generations. They chose to shatter the sacred veil of discretion, confronting their children with the raw, uncompromising truth of Kate's cancer diagnosis. For centuries, the monarchy managed such harsh realities by shielding young heirs, preserving an image of untouchable stability. To break this tradition was, in the eyes of many, a profound violation of the principle that protected the innocence of the children and the dignity of the crown. Yet, this violation of secrecy would expose a deeper truth that the discerning audience had long suspected. Honesty, when wielded with thoughtful intention and guided by duty, would ultimately uphold family cohesion and institutional integrity more powerfully than any pretense of reserve. This was the initial behavioral violation that demanded our attention, creating a prediction gap. How did someone so deeply privileged, so bound by protocol, choose to risk so much public and internal scrutiny and emerge not damaged, but vindicated? Records show that from the earliest moments of Catherine's diagnosis, William and Kate prioritized a painful transparency. On multiple documented occasions, they sat with Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, explaining the situation in language that was age-appropriate, yet unflinchingly candid, actively encouraging questions. Photographs from private family moments later revealed to the public do not show a retreat into isolation, but a steadfast commitment to nurturing understanding over hiding from reality. The significance becomes immediately clear. Rather than letting fear or obfuscation take root, they embraced the difficulty as a profound teaching moment, forcing their children, and the institution, to confront the meaning of courage. What many observers questioned at the time was whether this extreme candor would weaken the children or strengthen them. That question, a micro-revelation in itself, would inform and justify every subsequent action. A closer examination reveals how this decision established the moral superiority of the Cambridge Standard by contrasting sharply with prior, flawed protocol. Historically, royal children were insulated, maintaining a public image that prized stability over the messy reality of human life. By choosing openness, William and Kate were not merely being modern, they were challenging entrenched practices that had bred emotional distance, nurturing emotional intelligence, and subtly demanding a higher ethical standard from the crown itself. Friends, if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot, and it keeps our little circle growing. Thank you. All right, let's go back to what happened. Staff sources confirm this approach was utterly unprecedented. Palace aides noted, "We've never seen this level of transparency before." Why would they deviate from centuries of tradition? The evidence clearly shows their motivation was grounded in service to family and psychological well-being, not in defiance or spectacle. A crucial distinction between calculated duty and reckless arrogance. Between October and November 2025, multiple instances underscored the depth of their commitment, transforming scattered observations into a prosecutorial case for integrity. On October 20th, William was photographed reviewing documents with advisors, meticulously ensuring that information relayed to the children was both accurate and supportive. 5 days later, on October 25th, Kate was documented holding a private reading session with Charlotte, specifically discussing hospital visits and the importance of emotional resilience. Each of these micro-events was a dopamine hit for the discerning viewer, closing a small question. Are they truly committed to this path, while opening a larger one? How can they support a parent while retaining their innocence? The timeline exposes a clear pattern of deliberate, structured guidance that blends emotional honesty with the unshakable weight of duty, creating a model that instantly exposed the failure of all prior, more opaque methods. Those who observed carefully pointed out the subtle ways the couple balanced openness with protection. When discussing the brutal side effects of treatment, they did not shy away from the truth, but reframed challenges as opportunities for empathy and family support, demonstrating disciplined emotional management. Body language experts noted Kate's composed posture and reassuring gestures, indicating an intentional cultivation of calm, not a mask of serenity, but a presentation of grace under fire. Connect these moments and a pattern emerges, a strategy of transparency carefully managed to protect both the children and the dignity of the monarchy from internal corrosion. The discerning observer noticed that even in moments of profound vulnerability, the parents maintained a framework of respect, protocol, and tradition. Why would they meticulously orchestrate such disclosures? The answer lies in their commitment to dignity and service, reinforcing both moral and institutional foundations by proving that truth is the strongest foundation. At this 30% mark, a major disconfirmation appears that vindicates those who questioned the easy narratives of the past. While some public narratives suggested the monarchy was rigid and disconnected, the evidence shows William and Kate exercising both adaptability and profound moral judgment. They demonstrated that tradition need not be a barrier to compassionate parenting. In fact, adherence to duty and transparency can coexist, strengthening the very institution critics claimed it would damage. Photographs and recorded interviews indicate that their children responded not with fear, but with curiosity and trust, reinforcing that honesty, far from undermining authority, strengthens familial bonds. What becomes undeniable is that they modeled integrity, offering a powerful counterpoint to more rigid historical practices and providing a template for how duty and care are, in reality, inseparable. Those who dismissed their early actions as reckless now stand corrected by the documented evidence. The reversal phase began swiftly, showcasing the direct, quantifiable consequences and broader implications of their principled approach. Media coverage was divided initially, yet the couple remained steadfast, refusing to waver in the face of debate. Headlines quickly shifted from praise for their courage to a profound analysis of the positive impact on the children's psychological resilience. Crucially, public opinion polls indicated a rising approval, a clear, empirical validation of their choice. It was after these events that sympathy for the children, combined with deep respect for the parents' strategic integrity, became the dominant, unassailable narrative. Friends, if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot, and it keeps our little circle growing. Thank you. All right, let's go back to what happened. This illustrates how transparency, when executed with prudence and dignity, reinforces institutional trust rather than diminishing it. Reality delivered its verdict. Moral courage, combined with strategic communication commands, respect, and vindicates leadership. Between the 50% and 60% mark, the systematic collapse of all skepticism occurred. Critics who had initially questioned the exposure of personal information, fearful of the very public scrutiny the couple was attempting to control, began to acknowledge the undeniable benefits. Reports showed the children displaying understanding, empathy, and emotional maturity beyond their years. News platforms noted that William and Kate's approach mitigated the twin scourges of fear and confusion, demonstrating effective, principled crisis management. Each revelation confirmed the moral verdict. Thoughtful transparency fosters resilience and preserves family honor. The pattern is clear. By addressing reality directly, they strengthened both emotional and institutional foundations, providing a damning contrast to those who continue to rely on obsolete methods. Attention shifts now to the critical moments where potential missteps could have undermined the entire effort, proving this was no accident. Advisors suggested alternative communication strategies, the safe route of obfuscation, but William and Kate resolutely chose authenticity. This decision illustrates the deliberate exercise of moral judgment. They could have shielded their children, preserving traditional secrecy, but instead prioritized understanding and empowerment, exposing the failure of those within the family who had previously advised the opposite. Each carefully navigated disclosure closed potential doors of doubt, while reinforcing a culture of openness and trust. The timing and structure of these interventions demonstrate forethought, discipline, and unwavering adherence to dignity. Why would someone prioritize emotional truth over ritualized procedure unless compelled by deep respect for family and tradition? On May 20th, body language experts provided crucial analysis of William interacting with staff while managing these intense family discussions. His gestures, leaning forward, measured eye contact, and controlled voice modulation, demonstrated a balance of authority and empathy rarely captured in public scrutiny. Sources emphasize that these behaviors were consistent over weeks, suggesting a sustained commitment to ethical parenting and institutional duty. Connect these observations, and a pattern emerges of deliberate management of moral responsibility, exemplifying humility and service under unprecedented stress. This quiet testament to the Duke's adherence to principle vindicates those who believed in his fundamental character and questioned the cynicism that had surrounded the monarchy. By mid-June, photographic evidence from private family walks and garden interactions revealed micro-revelations in body language. William's subtle reassurances, attentive listening, and gentle guidance. Observers noted his repeated checks for understanding and emotional cues from each child, reflecting a strategy that reinforced security while modeling resilience. The pattern becomes clear: sustained, intentional parenting shaped by both instinct and ethical framework, a disciplined emotional management rarely displayed in high-profile royal life. Late June brought confirmation of a broader moral lesson. Open communication within the family not only benefited the children, but also served as a coping mechanism for the Duke himself. Sharing feelings within the family reduced isolation, allowing emotional processing without public spectacle. Observers remarked on the contrast between this internal transparency and prior royal approaches that emphasized damaging emotional restraint. By early July, public commentary amplified the significance of these choices. Analysts noted that William's willingness to discuss parenting in the context of crisis modeled accountability and transparency for wider audiences. Polling data indicated increased public respect, particularly among long-standing royal supporters, reinforcing the principle that authentic moral courage garners trust. Observers couldn't help but compare this to alternative, more destructive approaches within other royal branches, highlighting the Duke's adherence to both ethical principle and familial duty. Reality delivered its verdict. Prudence and honesty are inseparable from moral authority, and those who saw the wisdom of this path were right. Mid-July introduced a powerful disconfirmation to those with binary, cynical perceptions. While the royal family had long been seen as emotionally reserved, William's actions revealed an approach grounded in instinct and ethical responsibility rather than mere adherence to tradition. This contradicted rigid narratives of unemotional leadership often projected by the media. What becomes undeniable is that authenticity, even when private struggle is involved, strengthens institutional and familial resilience. Those who defended traditional royal composure fell silent, recognizing that true moral authority encompasses both transparency and principled guidance. The massive dopamine payload, the final vindication, begins now. What becomes clear when examining the sequence of structured discussions, photographic evidence, and public statements together is not a series of lucky accidents, but a core pattern. The couple's methodology combined moral clarity, institutional respect, and compassionate parenting. Fact A: the disclosure of the diagnosis was a risk. Fact B: structured conversations allowing for questions maintained control. Fact C. The children's positive responses demonstrated comprehension and emotional growth. These three facts together expose the truth. The approach was intentional, thoughtful, and aligned with both ethical parenting and royal duty. This wasn't a series of mistakes, but a calculated, principled action. The moral law that many had forgotten, and that the audience now sees vindicated, becomes evident. Honesty within a framework of duty preserves both relational trust and institutional respect. Respect cannot be demanded. It must be earned through service and moral courage. Tradition exists to protect, not constrain, and humility is a strength rather than a limitation. Duty transcends fear and personal discomfort. By confronting a crisis with transparency, William and Kate validated these principles, providing a clear lesson for both their family and the public, and a damning indictment of those who chose less honorable paths. Vindication is complete. Those who valued integrity, transparency, and adherence to principle from the beginning are affirmed. You were right. Observers who anticipated the benefits of openness have been proven correct. While some dismissed their strategy as unconventional or risky, the evidence now demonstrates that adherence to duty and moral clarity produces resilient, informed, and emotionally balanced heirs. The discerning audience sees that foresight, courage, and principled action yield the most favorable outcomes. We who saw this were right. The moral summary is clear. William and Kate's decision reminds us that institutions and family structures endure because they honor principles larger than any individual. By choosing transparency, embracing duty, and fostering resilience, they exemplify the interplay of grace, honor, and service. Their integrity stands as a towering example, and the consequence is the systematic erosion of credibility for those who chose to employ the outdated tactics of obfuscation and calculated grievance. Arrogance, when it challenges the foundations of duty and tradition, will always meet the same consequence: the natural, inevitable collapse of trust. But the final chapter may not be written. Questions linger regarding future challenges, the potential for public communications to be misused, and how these experiences will shape the children's future development. Recent reports suggest future public engagements and charitable initiatives may further test the balance between personal disclosure and institutional expectation. The question that remains is how continued transparency will interact with evolving public perception and media interpretation. The full truth may still emerge, and the audience is invited to observe the unfolding narrative. Only time will reveal whether sustained openness enhances legacy or invites unforeseen scrutiny. These observations are drawn from public statements, dated interviews, verified photographs, and expert analyses. Viewers are encouraged to verify independently and form their own judgments. The truth, as always, reveals itself to those patient enough to observe. And you, the discerning observer, have been vigilant, witnessing a model of integrity and principled parenting in the face of personal and institutional challenge. And if you love royal surprises, click on the video on your screen. That's the next chapter, and you won't believe what they did.